So, your general reading. This is the shadow highlight spread for those of you who haven't seen this before. Your central card, this is one of Three of Swords is usually just has to do with sadness. Some sort of, it usually has to do with disappointment, sadness, betrayal, just something that's heavy on your heart. And actually these swords represent the air element, which is what you are, Aquarius, your air-ruled sign. And air usually represents the mental sphere. So it has to do with ideas, thoughts, beliefs, knowledge, wisdom, understanding. And as I usually read Three of Swords, I usually ask, what are the thoughts, the ideas that are heavy on your heart, that are causing your heart to be wounded? And what ideas can you pull out of your heart so that your heart can recover and mend? What this is saying is that there's some sort of thoughts on your heart that are causing it to be punctured, causing it to be swollen, causing it to feel heavy and swollen with blood. It's a card usually, like I said, of sadness, betrayal, disappointment. Just I kind of get that some of you are looking back to a relationship with sadness, and that's where this raindrops come in, the storm, these thunder clouds, the rain clouds. So what's heavy on your heart, Aquarius? What thoughts do you need to pull? Some of these are old swords I actually get for some of you. What are the old words, thoughts, beliefs that you need to pull out of your heart so that it can be whole again and heal? That's really what's going on with this card. And that, and there may be some June gloom for some of you, because this may be the central theme. Some of you may be recalling back to an old breakup, or it may be a fresh breakup for some of you. There's just something going on where there's some heaviness on your heart. I'm seeing that too with some of this gray. Capricorn had this too, where there's a lot of gray here in these cards. That just sometimes can have a little bit of a heavy feeling, a little bit like cement. For you, it's more like a gray day, like I'm getting Seattle weather for some of you. And just a little bit of heaviness of the heart. What's passing away, though, this is the end of something. Death usually means that it's the transformation of something or the letting go of something. And I get that you are working on letting go because this is in the passing away position, but I'm also getting that there's a little bit of sadness involved with letting go. So there's something that you're acknowledging the end of, or the end is happening regardless of what, it's sort of out of your control, just as death is out of our control. Generally, with this passing away, you are letting it go. It is passing away, but you're dealing with the aftermath. You're dealing with the heaviness of your heart, of like the sadness of having to let that thing go. And you may be preoccupied with something that you've had to say goodbye to. What's in the shadows is Page of Pence in reverse. So this is an interesting card in this position for you, Aquarius, because Page of Pence has to do with an openness and a willingness to receive something new. You can see that he's marveling over this new thing that has been handed to him. So usually pages represent the young side of ourselves, which usually represent a certain amount of innocence, certain amount of openness, willingness, like it's just being ready to receive something is where Page is at. And with it in the reverse position and in your shadow position, it's kind of like it's there hanging out in the wings, but you're not ready to process that yet. That there is sort of some budding ideas of like, okay, well, maybe I am ready to receive something new. Maybe I could consider that. But in the reverse position and in the shadows, there's a lot of fear, doubt, or resistance, or even just not being ready. On a conscious level, maybe being ready on a subconscious level, because he is showing up here for you, but that is yet to rise to the surface. Think of this as a seed that's planted, or maybe you need to plant that seed of like, maybe even though I'm letting go of this thing and I'm sad about it and it's causing me to feel gray, it's causing me to feel, it's affecting your whole set of chakras. It's like, I'm just getting that it's affecting your whole nervous system, Aquarius, because your air element is sort of like someone has struck these swords and they're still vibrating, and it's still affecting your heart, and it's affecting you from a root level all the way to your crown level. So allow yourself to feel that. Have a good cry if you need to. Really, it may be a private thing, but allow yourself to just feel that and pull those swords out once they stop vibrating so that your heart can be whole again. That's going to be a message for you for June. And potentially see if you can consider planting a seed towards receiving something new, being open again, being willing. That's what Page of Earth, Page of Pence, Page of Coins says. Being willing to receive something new into your experience. This is open-heartedness. This is like, I'm putting my hand out to receive it. I'm willing to receive. I'm ready. So even if you're not ready right now, Aquarius, even if that's buried, because in reverse and in the shadow position it says that willingness, that open-heartedness is sort of buried. It's like, think of it as a seed that you're going to plant. It's not here yet. You may not feel that yet. You may not even want to consider that yet. But allow that to just hang out in your subconscious, because there may be a day where he emerges. What's approaching for you, gosh, is feeling like you just don't want to do all the hard work anymore. You may be feeling like overloaded. This is 10 of Wands, which you can see represents hard work. It represents carrying a lot of burdens. And in the reverse position, you may see a lot of upcoming work and saying, I just don't want to do it. I just don't feel like it just feels like too much. But so when this card appears, I'm going to invite you to ask the question, what can I put down that's not necessary? What can I let go of that's not mine? There may be certain things that you need to do that you've signed up for, that you've agreed to, or that is on your plate. But I'm going to invite you to say, what's not mine? What can I put down? Instead of 10 wands, can I just carry 6, which is the symbol of success? Like, say half of those you can get rid of, or at least 4 of them. Like, what are you carrying that's not yours? What's not necessary? What don't you have to carry? Because I'm going to say, coming up for you, if the load looks too heavy, how can you lighten your load? Get rid of 40%. That's going to be my message to you. Of the upcoming, if it looks like you have a lot of tasks upcoming that feel like it's making your back break, Aquarius, feels like too much, feels like I don't want to do that, because that's why it's in reverse, that doubt, fear, resistance. I want to invite you to get rid of 40%. So whatever that is, if it's 40, if there's like 100, days of work, how can you get rid of 40 of them? Keep 60. If there's 10 days that you're having to do a certain thing, how can you get rid of 4 of those days? Use your vacation days. Do whatever it is that you can just clear out, retain 60. Keep 6 of them. That will be success. And you'll still be acknowledged and recognized. It'll just be that you will be up on a horse and supported and celebrated, and get rid of those extra 4 that are weighing you down like an anchor. It's just, you need to, the 80-20 rule, Aquarius, where 20% of our effort yields 80% of the results. I'm going to encourage you to do a 60-40 with this 10 of Wands. Get rid of 40%. Whatever that means for you. Even asking what's not mine. 20% is other people's stuff that you can get rid of, that you're carrying perhaps for someone else, and 20% of your own stuff that you just don't need to be carrying. That's what I'm going to say for you. That's what's coming in. And that will help with this too. Because with these two together, you're feeling overburdened. You can potentially feel like there's a lot on your heart and that you have too much to do. So lighten this up, get rid of 40% of this, and identify at least one of these you can pull out of your heart. Ideally all 3, but do one at a time. What's something that you can stop ruminating about or thinking about that's hurting you? That's going to help you, Aquarius. What can you pull out of your heart to recover? And once you also deal with this will become easier, and it will become easier to lighten this load. So that's a message for you for June, is you need to take stuff off because you're too weighed down. And if you can get rid of 40% of it, lighten your load, it will be successful. You can still carry the majority of it looking forward. Chariot is movement. And this is a card that has to do with success and victory. Remember when I was talking about getting rid of 40% of this is the card of success? That's Six of Wands. This is also a card of success and victory. So this is actually showing up for you in the highlighted position, in the upright position. This is a major arcana card. This is very similar where he's on a chariot. And what this card is about knowing where to go based on your intuition. So trust your instincts. He knows the chariot achieves success and victory because he knows whether to go left or right. He knows whether to trust his left brain or his right brain. He balances. That's another great word for this card is balance. The left brain, which is logical, rational, analytical. You Aquarians can relate to that because you have very strong minds generally. You're air sign, which is mental based or mentally based. And then this is the right brain. This is the more wild, irrational, passionate, creative side. So balancing those two is what allows this chariot to have movement forward and achieve success. He knows which way to go. He knows which way to cross the finish line because he trusts his intuition. That's what these crescent moons on his shoulders represent. He listens to his inner knowing and therefore achieves success. And that's also what this card is about. So especially as we approach week 2 of June, I want you to trust your intuition. Notice how she has that crescent moon as well. And also, you notice the dark and the light. Boaz and Jachem, these are the pillars of the Temple of Solomon. That's where this inner knowing is. This is where the wisdom is. He takes it out into the world and takes action with it. She sits back and listens and waits. So I'm going to talk more about that when we get to it. But this is a card of victory, triumph, success, movement, trusting your inner knowledge to know which way to go, trusting your judgment, being able to make decisions, being capable in your decision making, trusting your judgment. I might have already said that, but this is a great card of success, Aquarius. So what I see is even though your current situation, past, present, future, is sort of about tending to yourself and this thing that you've had to let go of and this thing that may be approaching that feels too hard because your heart is so overladen, there's really a lot of optimism in your shadow and in your highlight. Look at these yellow cards. This is open-heartedness. This is crossing the finish line. Success and victory, receiving the new thing. So even though this may be what's going on for you right now in June, even though it may feel like a little bit of June gloom, the sun is bookending that. It's awaiting you. It's surrounding you and supporting you. So acknowledge and allow what's going on for you right now. You need to tend to your heart. That's clear. And you need to relieve yourself of some of this upcoming burden because it feels like too much. But ultimately, you will cross that finish line. You will have victory. You will make good decisions. You will have action that leads you to success and victory. And you will, if you allow this guy up, if you plant the seed now, he may show up later. So allow yourself the possibility of having an open heart, an openness, and a willingness to receive something new lifestyle, new money, new job, new way of being is what I'm getting for some of you. A new thing, potentially something that takes the place of this old thing that's passing away. After you've had time to grieve over it, after you've had time to acknowledge how much it hurt your heart. And you're going to have to make a decision about when you're ready to take those swords out of your heart so that it can heal. So for week 1, we're already in week 1. For week 2, this again is re-emphasizing a theme in this card. Another major arcana card, by the way. So it's kind of more profound. It has a little bit more impact. And it's saying in week 2 of June, you really need to trust your instincts. You really just need to get quiet and take a moment to be off of the stage, whatever that means for you. She's in the temple where it's quiet, where there's no action. And that's where she receives the information. And she receives information through going within. This is almost a very meditative card. And again, she's got that crescent moon, just like Chariot does, which is your highlight card for the month. This is what will help you take action. But in week 2, it's a time to just get quiet and receive information. Let it wash over you. There's something about it that you're doubting, fearing, or resisting. Why are you fearful about getting quiet, Aquarius? What are you resisting? What is the difficulty in taking a step back and just being High Priestess, receiving the information that you need? You already know the answer, actually, is what this card tells me, but you're kind of not really ready to process that answer. You're not willing to receive it. You're not willing to see it. You're not willing to trust yourself for whatever that is. I'm not sure, but if you can remove whatever doubt, fear, or resistance, it may be a sense of duty, quite frankly, because you're getting justice, the verdict, the conclusion, along with this 10 of Wands, along with High Priestess all together. So that's saying that you may feel like you're surrounded by authority figures. Hello, these two. And that you have to do all this work that is breaking your back and that you just don't feel up to it. I'm going to invite you, you become the authority. Trust your instincts. Listen to that quiet voice within you. This that she knows, she's telling you. If you get quiet enough and you trust her, you can clear away some of this. You can. And whatever injustice at the end of the month that looks like a verdict that's been rendered that's unfair, you can change that. So week 3 is also emphasizing that. Look at this, Aquarius. It's 4 of Swords. This means hanging your thoughts up on the wall for consideration and just getting quiet. I'm just going to also reflect this to you and say, look at the 3 swords here. You can even look at it as past, present, future. Past, present, future. What's been hurting your heart for a while. I want to invite you to pull those out of your heart and hang them up on the wall. You don't have to get rid of them. You don't have to burn them or bury them or melt them or anything. Hang them up on the wall and take a break from thinking about them. Rest with this other sword. This is a new thought, okay? And it's something that you can just take a moment of quiet contemplation. Hello, this card. Quiet contemplation. Don't resist it. Don't fear it. It might be easier, actually, for you in week 3 to let this in, because in week 2 there's some sort of like I kind of know that the answer is coming, but I don't know what to do with it, or I don't know how to receive it. I'm fearful of what it is. Just sit with it is what I'm really getting, because it's really going to help you with this, Aquarius. This is a card of rest and relaxation. It's a card of sitting with those thoughts. It's just a card of letting peace wash over you. And it's taking a moment out of battle so that you have more strength for what's coming up next, what's coming in. And it's sort of like saying recharge your batteries, regenerate, relax. All those words, rethink, reconsider, revise, review, relax, rest, all of that. So take these 3 thoughts that are hurting your heart, hang them up on the wall. Let them be there. Just be with it. Be okay with it. Find your peace, even along with it. But they're no longer, you'll notice in this card, they're no longer affecting your heart. They're there. But you just meditate upon that. Take some time out. It's really going to help you, Aquarius, in week 3. You'll find peace. You may even appear to be dead. Sometimes people think the soldier's dead. But he's not. He's just taking a time out for himself, taking a time out from action. You'll have plenty of action later. June may be a time where you need this quiet contemplation to address what's going on with your heart, to let go of what's gone. And then week 4 is justice. Now, justice has to do with weighing evidence and rendering a conclusion. You see this sword that she holds up? I'm seeing that here as the same sword, this new thought that you get, a new idea, a new way of thinking. From this rest and relaxation, you put to bed these old swords and you get the new one. And that's what you finally declare and hold up. Now, you may be saying this isn't fair. I don't agree. It's a verdict that is unjust. It's something that was done to me, or something that was done based on unfair evidence, something that was unbalanced, because justice in reverse usually speaks to that. But I'm going to say that by you going within and listening to your inner quiet voice, getting quiet and sitting with those thoughts that are affecting your heart, you actually get to topple authority and say, no, I'm not carrying 10 wands anymore. I know the answer. I'm determining what's true for me. I'm not going to do what's unjust. I get the sense that you get a real conviction about something by the end of June, Aquarius, that's really going to benefit you, so that you're not this person coming up. This is really stressing you out. Again, cut away 40%. You can do that. You have the right. It's your life, Aquarius. So that's kind of what's going on for June. I'm just going to say, Aquarius, take good care of yourself. Take a time out. Attend to your heart. Work on whatever you're letting go of. Attend to that. And if something's stressing you out about coming up and the work that you have to do, decide, use the powers of justice. Use the powers of whatever insights you get in this third week, because you've taken a moment to recover and hang those thoughts up on the wall. Use this thought that you get in week 3 from the work that you've done to accept getting quiet and listening in week 2. Just become an observer. Become the person who's resting. And then use that thought in week 4 to challenge whatever authorities are around you. They're saying you have to, they're cracking the whip and saying you have to be the slave, you have to do this, you have to do this. You can say, no, I choose what I want. I go forward and I achieve success and victory. I trust my inner instincts. You become this guy from listening to her, from listening to your inner voice, your inner intuition, your inner instinct, and you can change. You turn this around and you turn this around. So you don't have to do anything that's unjust or unfair or break your back. You get to choose, Aquarius, and this is really going to help you. Week 2 and week 3, go in, get quiet, put your thoughts up on the wall. Decide if you can pull these out of your heart and just sit with them for a while. You'll get new insight, and it will take you forward. So that's my reading for you for June in general. And I do have, again, this meditation card. I'm going to say, look back on everything you've created, Aquarius. Look at everything you've accomplished. This is someone who's built a castle, and they've done it with other people. 3 of Coins is collaborative effort. It's group work. It's creativity. So I want you to celebrate your creativity. I want you to celebrate what you've created. I want you to celebrate the work that you've done with others. And if that's something that's coming up for you in June, focus on that. This is a good meditation for you. Here's 2 opposites, right? They're both 3 energy. One is the low side of the 3, which is indecision, worry, strife, anxiety, tension, third wheel energy. And then this is the high side of the 3, which is creativity, spontaneity, collaboration, I think I said creativity already, but here's two different poles on the axis of 3. So if you're starting out here, I invite you to focus on this, either stuff you've done already or stuff you want to do. This is going to be helpful for you to recognize, even though this is happening. This is a good card to meditate upon. 3 of creation, 3 multiple streams of income, creativity, the product of your works, of working with others. This is a beautiful card, Aquarius. So that's a great card to meditate upon for June.